Week 10 of the EIHL is all done, so it's time to take a look at what happened, the week's top performers and some standings and stats. 4 games at 7 o'clock started us off on Saturday. At Brarehead, a dismal Blaze were thrashed 6-0 by the Clan, winger Ben Davies finishing with 1+2 on the night. In Nottingham, 2 third-period goals in 24 seconds for the Panthers saw the home side take a 4-3 lead which they would hold on to, Jeff Waugh grabbing an assist on both vital goals. Robert Dowd scored 2 and set up 1 as the Steelers defeated the Stars 4-2 in Sheffield, while in Cardiff the Devils player coach Andrew Lord mirrored the performance as the home side ran out 5-2 winners against the Manchester Storm. Saturday night was completed in Fife with a blowout victory for the Flyers over the Caps, scoring 8 goals to Edinburgh's 3, with Ryan Dingle grabbing a brace. Sunday started in Manchester, where the Storm and Giants finished 1-1 after overtime, and after 16 combined failed attempts at a penalty shot, the teams were split when Mike Radja scored and gave Belfast 2 points. In Coventry, a cup game that meant pretty much nothing took place between the Blaze and Devils, and Cardiff won 6-4, Mike Will and Rennie Marr both getting a lot of time in nets. This week's Goalfest didn't involve Belfast, rather it took place in Edinburgh, where the Caps beat the Steelers 7-5, Craig McCallum scoring the game-winning goal to complete his hat-trick. And finally, Week 9 was concluded in Dundee with another bag of goals, this time the Stars scoring 6 to the Flyers 3, Lou Dickinson coming away with 2+1 for the winning team. There was no clear leader for goals scored last week. Instead, the league was led by 7 players who found the net 3 times, including Mathieu Aouar, Guillaume Doucet and Ryan Dingle. For assists, however, it was the Devils' Jake Morissette who led the way with 5 helpers, 1 ahead of his teammate Andrew Lord and the Caps' Jacob Johnston. Lord also found the net twice over the week, giving him 6 total points, joint tied for the league lead with Justin Fox from the Flyers, who both scored and assisted 3 goals. A combination of roughing, fighting, holding and the ever-popular abuse of an official sees Kyle Tanaka top of the week for penalty minutes on 29, with Trevor Hendricks and David Ling, who received a boarding game penalty and a kneeing match penalty respectively, just behind him. Carson Chubak was the busiest goalie this week, keeping out 68 shots in his 2 games, 5 more than Zane Kalemba. Chris Holt only had the 1 game to deal with and stopped the Blaze from scoring, meaning he led the league in save percentage and goals against, while Kalemba saved almost 93% of shots faced, putting him second for the week. The week's games have had no effect whatsoever on the standings. The Giants top, a point ahead of the Panthers and Devils, who make up the top 3. The Stars and Steelers are 5 points adrift of those, with the Caps a further point behind, as they were at the start of the week. The only area where points have really had any impact is at the bottom, where the Storm are a further point behind the Clan and the Blaze are still sat bottom, now a point behind the Storm. The Panthers' win over the Giants means that while the Giants remain top of the EIHL Conference, Nottingham have moved into second with the same record as Cardiff, both teams 3 points behind Belfast with 4 games in hand. In the Gardner Conference, the Stars and Flyers at the top both added 2 points to their totals to increase their lead over the others, though the Flyers were on the receiving end of that Stars victory. No cup games in Group A, so the standings remain as they were last week. While in Group B, the Blaze and Devils completed the group, and whilst this had no effect on standings, it moved the Devils on to 12 points in the competition, while the Blaze finished with a disappointing 2. The Blaze finished their cup campaign this year with a goal difference of -21, by far the worst of every team. So on to individual stats for the year, and just the 3 more goals for Ryan Hayes as he continues to dominate the league for goal scoring and is enjoying a truly incredible start to the year. Mathieu Aouar's 3 goals for the Steelers mean he has 13 on the year and is now second for goals, ahead of a group of players on 11 for the season, including Guillaume Doucet after he scored 3 this week. Derek Walser failed to add any assists last week, but still leads the EIHL with 19, ahead of Andrew Hotham, Andrew Lord and Riley Wetmore, who all have 70. With 13 assists to his 19 goals, Ryan Hayes is points leader with 32 so far at a rate of 1.45 per game. Joey Martin has moved on to 26 to put him level with Matt Correa behind Hayes, while below them are 3 players on 24. Trevor Hendricks' penalty exploits this week mean he has 98 for the year and is joint top with the Capitals' Kyle Bigos, while Kyle Tanaka has managed to talk himself into the top 10. Mika Wiegman still leads the league for save percentage ahead of Chris Holt and Ben Bounds. The positions in this list haven't changed much, but Vlastimil Lakasil dropped a couple of places, and at the bottom, Zane Kalemba's solid week means he has now moved above David Brown, who struggled with a save percentage of .86. Beekman leads on goals against, but Holt's shutout has moved him into second place, while at the bottom, Carson Chubak's GAA of 6.5 last week means he has dropped below Kalemba. 4 power play goals on 10 attempts in week 10 mean the Devils have moved top of the league ahead of the Giants, despite the Belfast unit recording a solid 27% over the weekend. No goals on 11 attempts for the Storm see their year-to-date percentage take a big drop, and they're now behind Edinburgh. The Steelers only managed 1 goal on 9 power plays and are still rooted at the bottom here, their misery compounded by the fact that they've also conceded 5 shorties. The Clan only had 1 penalty to kill in week 10 and did so successfully, meaning they remain the best team in the league, playing with a man in the box ahead of the Devils, who killed all 10 penalties they faced last week. The Stars also had a 100% kill in their 2 games, and this has moved them to 4th on the year. Week 11 kicks off, I suppose that should be faces off, on Thursday when the Giants host the Caps at the SSE Arena in league action. After this we move on to Saturday and Sunday, where all teams are in action both days. The highlight on Saturday looks to be in Cardiff, where the Devils will host the Giants. This should be a close game and could end up being another Giants goalfest. On Sunday the Giants host the Stars in cup action, while in Sheffield it's another derby game, just the 3rd in the last 5 weeks. The week finishes off in Edinburgh, where the Caps host the Flyers. That's it for week 10, thanks very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this review please like and share and subscribe to see more Elite League reviews in the future. Bye for now.